3 feet of wood and a deadbolt. 16 men stacked behind you. Execute. The charge blows, and you step into a room where you have a quarter second to decide who lives. But 20 years before this, you were just a kid shaking in the ocean, 50 yards from a bell that would make it all stop. Level 1. The bell. It's bolted to a post in the center of the Buds compound, a brass ship's bell, green with salt air, and it's the loudest, quiet thing on the base. Ring it 3 times, and you're done. No questions. They hand you a cup of coffee, a donut, and a bus ticket. 80% of your class will ring it before this is over. You're 21, standing in the Pacific Ocean at 2 a.m. in Coronado, California. The water is 58 degrees. Your instructor told you to lock arms with the man beside you and sit in the surf zone until he says stop. He hasn't said stop in 45 minutes. Your teeth are hitting each other so hard you'll crack a filling by Thursday. The sand is inside everything. Your ears, your shorts, the raw patches where your skin used to be. Hell Week is 5.5 days with a total of 4 hours of sleep. You will run over 200 miles. You will carry a 180-pound log with 6 other men until your shoulders go numb, then keep carrying it. Of the 185 men who started, class 342, 42 will finish. You don't know that number yet. Right now, you only know one thing. The bell is 50 yards away, and the cold is right here. Level 2, the trident. Someone pins a piece of metal into your chest, and your whole life divides into before and after. The special warfare insignia, the trident, is a gold eagle clutching an anchor, a trident, and a flintlock pistol. Every SEAL who ever lived has worn it. After 26 weeks of Buds and another 26 of SEAL qualification training, it's yours. You are 22 years old. SQT is where you actually learn the job. BUD/S was about finding out who won't quit. SQT turns the ones who didn't into operators. Land warfare, combat diving, free fall parachute, demolitions, communications. You learn to shoot, move, and communicate until the sequence is muscle memory. You learn to breach doors with explosives, clear rooms, and patch a collapsed lung with plastic and tape. Your base pay plus special duty assignment pay, dive pay, demo pay, and jump pay comes to about $54,000 a year. You don't care about the money yet. You care about the 3-pronged piece of gold on your chest and what it cost you to put it there. Level 3, the new guy. You walk into the team room at your first platoon and nobody looks up. You have a trident and 0 deployments. That makes you the newest guy in the room, and everyone lets you know it. In a SEAL platoon, the trident is the starting line, not the finish. You carry the heaviest gear, you set up and tear down the range, you keep your mouth shut and your eyes open, and you do not tell anyone outside this building what happens inside it. The quiet professional ethos isn't a suggestion, it's the air you breathe. Your platoon is 16 men. You spend the next 18 months in pre-deployment workup, shooting tens of thousands of rounds, running kill house scenarios until you can clear a 5-room structure blindfolded, diving in black water with nothing but a compass board and your swim buddy's fins ahead of you. You learn each man's breathing pattern, his reload speed, the sound of his footsteps. When it works, 16 men move like one nervous system. Somewhere in the middle of workup, without anyone saying it, they stop calling you the new guy. That's the only ceremony that matters. Level 4, the door. 3 feet of wood and a deadbolt. That's all that separates you from whatever's on the other side. You're 25, stacked outside a target compound at 0200 in a country you won't name on camera. The breacher sets the charge. Your thumb is on the safety. Stand by. Stand by. Execute. The charge blows. You cross the threshold. Dust everywhere, nods turning it all green. You move to your point of domination, scan your sector, and make a decision that would take a civilian 20 minutes in about a quarter of a second. Threat, no threat. The answer matters more than anything you've ever been tested on. Nobody tells you about the ringing that starts after the first dozen breaches and never fully goes away. Nobody tells you about the smell, explosive residue and sweat and adrenaline, which tastes like copper in the back of your throat. Your pay with combat zone exclusion and hazardous duty is around $68,000. You don't think about money here. You think about the door. Level 5, the rotation. 4th deployment. Your body knows the rhythm before your brain does. The workup, the goodbye, the plane, the base, the ops, the silence, the plane home, the adjustment period that everyone calls normal and nobody means it. You're 29, petty officer first class. You've lost hearing in your right ear that the audiologist says is permanent, and 2 vertebrae in your lower back light up on every MRI. The Navy offers a $92,000 re-enlistment bonus for 4 more years. You take it because this is the only thing you know how to do at the level it needs to be done. Your wife has had 3 birthdays without you. Your daughter said Dada for the first time on a FaceTime call with a 2-second delay, and you watched it from a plywood room with a blanket nailed over the window. The marriage counselor the Navy provides is booked out 8 weeks. Your buddies at home think you're a hero. Your wife thinks you're a stranger. Both are right. Level 6, the anchor. They pin the anchor on your collar and call you chief, and the guys you used to kick doors with start putting yes in front of your last name. You're 33, Chief Petty Officer, E7. You don't stack on doors anymore. You're responsible for 16 operators, their training, their equipment, their readiness, and their families. When a 23-year-old new guy is drinking too much after his first deployment, that's your problem. When the planning has a gap that could get someone killed, that's your name on the review. $96,000 a year, 12 years in. Retirement is at 20. 8 more years and you walk with a pension. That number starts to feel like a countdown bolted to your chest. The hardest part of being chief isn't the paperwork or the politics. It's that you now send men through doors you used to walk through yourself, and you stand on the other side of the radio, waiting to hear their voices come back. Level 7, the folded flag. You've carried 6 of them now. A folded American flag, 13 folds, handed to a woman trying to hold it together in front of 200 people. You stand at attention in your dress whites. The rifle volley fires and a 4-year-old beside her flinches. He doesn't understand why his father isn't coming home. You're 37, senior chief, 18 years in. The teams have taken pieces of you that won't grow back. 2 knee surgeries, a fused disc, tinnitus that never sleeps, and a brain that will not stop scanning every room you walk into. The VA has a term for it. You have your own. The transition out breaks more people than the job itself. You've lost 2 teammates to it. One was in your first platoon. He made it through Hell Week, 6 deployments, a divorce, and a custody fight. He didn't make it through a Tuesday in April. You don't talk about this. You carry it the way you've carried everything, silently, until the weight becomes the shape of your spine. Level 8, the other side. The trident is in the top drawer of your nightstand. You don't wear it anymore, but you open the drawer sometimes and look at it. 20 years. You're 41 and you're out. The pension is $48,000 a year, half your base pay, no special duty kickers. You go to the grocery store at 700 because it's empty. You sit in the parking lot for 10 minutes sometimes because the transition from mission to no mission is the one thing nobody trains you for. The civilian world moves slowly and talks loudly. Job interviews ask about leadership experience and conflict resolution, and you sit there in a suit that doesn't fit, trying to translate a career measured in breaching charges and deployment cycles into language that belongs on a resume. But some mornings, early, before the house wakes up, you make coffee and stand on the back porch and just breathe. The silence doesn't feel like absence anymore. It feels like something you earned. And somewhere right now, a 21-year-old is standing in the surf zone in Coronado at 2 a.m, locking arms with the man beside him, shaking so hard he can barely see. The bell is 50 yards away. He doesn't know about the Trident, the combat, the funerals, or the 20 years that will reshape him. He only knows the cold, and he's choosing not to move.